Well, there it is, WTiiWarcraft here. Welcome, guys. A video here in regards to a new patch that's being released for Warcraft Reforged. So if you've got access to the beta, you can start downloading that now on the client. Pete Stillwell says, howdy, friends. We're excited to debut play between Classic and Reforged assets. We would greatly appreciate that everyone tries to play games with both options. Specific changes and improvements include stability improvements for custom games, map loading time decreased significantly, and Classic mode now active to play with original assets. This can be toggled in options from the main menu. Menus do not change based on SD or HD and cannot be changed in-game. We don't load both the assets, so that saves memory usage. I'm currently in the game at the moment, created a custom game to be played with other players, but I just started it off. And it plays fairly nicely. It did take a while to load though, but this was only one test, so I can't confirm for sure. The models definitely look better, more vibrant. However, it still feels like there's a lower frame rate for the models themselves as opposed to the actual game frame rate that is currently being displayed. At the moment you can see frame rate is up here, although my system might not be ideal for it. I heard that AMD computers first gen might have issues, and well, I got one of those, I believe. So, got a sheep here, and you can see the model. So it plays smoother, but this is essentially a single player because I'm not actually against another player, although you can see the 50 ping. So it was created as a custom game. You can see in the menu system you have this option here, Reforged mode. Enables Reforged graphics and content for versus and campaign. So for custom games, and Reforged graphics will be used where available. Click to switch to classic mode. You cannot activate this whilst you're currently in the game, as they mentioned, because they don't want to essentially load up both Reforged and standard. And that way it... What's with all the sheep? Wow, okay. So, if we go into the main menu, which still feels a little on the clunky side, although some people have been saying it's smoother. It still feels a little bit slower than I would like. I mean, everything normally does, unfortunately. But, if we go to, let's say, options... Sounds like new music, almost. You hear that? I mean, it is Reign of Chaos, but it's like slightly different. Sounding quite good, actually. I like it. Enable specific hotkey override. So preset key bindings is still only doable through changing the custom keys text. I'm not sure when that's going to come around. Ideally, like the StarCraft remaster or revamp that they did a while back, you were able to change the hotkeys within the client itself. So hopefully that will come to Warcraft 3. But yes, so if we switch to Classic, what will happen, assumably, is that when I now create another custom game, and I'll just do exactly as I did before. So, booty. Boot, and just go with the standard. Definitely a bit smoother though, I've got to give it some credit there. I'll start off a game and you can just see how it plays, so to speak. Not even against the computer, this is just to demonstrate the loading time, although it should be quicker to load, which it is. Although that is strange to look at, I've got to say, because this is standard definition, but it's clearly different. I can immediately tell there's differences here. It looks like it's got more of a shadow cast on a lot of the models, such as the buildings, the units themselves. I think I noticed this beforehand. Not like just in this specific instance, but from screenshots and such. So we've got 200 FPS. If we go to here, you can't change it once you're inside of the game. So it's definitely classic, but it definitely also looks different. I don't know exactly how to describe it to you. Maybe a little bit more crisp. I think it's just something you'd have to get used to. Not sure if the shadows is displaying as well as it should be though. It's kind of like vague shadows going on over here. But I've got everything set to high, and I can't change these. So Whether it truly translates over to standard definition, as it does in current Warcraft 3, is debatable, because I can already tell you there's a difference. It's just hard for me to describe exactly what it is. Not necessarily that it's a bad thing. I think it does work. I should really try to take like a screenshot or almost go straight into Warcraft 3 as well after this. If I did like that, I don't know, print screen, and then maybe try and put the two side to side, and we can kind of get a difference. I just want to see what the hero looks like in the actual unit, the grunt, and then I'll come out and maybe go into normal Warcraft 3 to try to show you that kind of difference. Sounds like classic, looks like classic-ish, but it's fine. So there's the grunt. You got the oh, here definitely. It's interesting. Okay. So there you have it. You can now basically switch to standard mode from Reforged if you wish to still play with standard mode, as we can understand it. So again, if I wanted to go into Reforged, you would simply go to Options and change that. But I'm going to go into original Warcraft 3, and I'm going to try, if I can. Bear with me. To show you Booty Bay again. Hopefully it puts me in the same position. Oh, shouldn't really do it from single player. You can see the smoothness of the menus here, can't you? Although I would still personally prefer an option to just remove the whole slide-in stuff. Because I've been playing this game a long time. And I don't need to see these slide anymore. I just need to go boop, 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 straight to the point. So, booty, boot. Z. And just create the game and start it off. So, in this case, I actually have to put a computer into the game. Otherwise it won't start, so that's an interesting difference. But, yeah, it loaded quicker the second time I hosted on Reforged. So I'm not sure if that's always going to be the case, or just the first time was some weird case. So, although it could have loaded quicker just because it was with the standard graphics and not the Reforged graphics. So, we want to ideally be on the right-hand side of the map, so I can do a equal comparison. Not that I'm going to build in exactly the same position, because that would be impressive. I just have to hope that Lady Luck allows me to be on that right-hand side. Otherwise, I'll have to do a few restarts here. So, how you guys doing anyway? You having a nice day? Yeah, you doing alright? So, we got the whole Reforged thing coming up soon. And Blizzard basically have their work cut out for them. Oh, okay. Well, it'll help if I picked Orc, but I also got the left-hand side. Getting everything optimized. That's the main thing. Because there's going to be people with worse computers than me, that's for sure, playing the game. And they're going to find it tough if it feels sluggish. And that's really the biggest problem, isn't it? Does it feel smooth and convincing? Well, I'm getting screwed on this one, aren't I? One more try, otherwise I'm just going to take a screenshot of the left-hand side of the map, because that's apparently where it wants me to be. Oops. I'll give you one more shot. But you better make this count. So these are the kind of loading times I like from actual class. Oh my goodness. Okay, whatever. Okay. So it definitely holds up to standard. Like, this is actually in standard. I'm just comparing it to what we saw beforehand. If I can just... Unfortunately, I can't speed build. I can't use Warp 10. So I'm going to have to wait a minute until the hero comes out. But I suppose, meanwhile, whilst that's occurring, I can actually go into Photoshop and start working on the other bit. Take a look at this. I didn't actually take a screenshot with the models out. So I can actually just take a screenshot now. So this is actually a little bit darker, I would say. I thought it was actually brighter, which is ironic because Reforged has an issue with being almost too dark. So maybe they've gone and upped the vibrancy. So as soon as these two buildings have completed, I'll take a screenshot and you can have a look just as we finish off this video. So there's the altar. Right, okay, good. I think it's... The shadows are still basic, but they're definitely larger on these. I'm noticing that already. Like, it's very funny how you can sort of see the subtle differences. So, okay. Here we go. I'm going to just crop this in Photoshop. Here we are. So, if I show you the right-hand monitor, we can have HD, standard different. Right, this is Reforged, basically. First is that. Now, you would think there's no difference there, right? But immediately, the camera angle looks different, right? So let's put this onto 50. Pop. So let's go to 100. Notice the difference there? Do you see it? This is essentially Reforged. And then normal Warcraft 3. Strange that, right? It's almost like it's been twisted round a little bit. And in Reforged, the shadows are barely visible on the units, which makes them look a lot more floaty. But in the normal version of the game, they're far darker, so they stand out a lot more, and you can see the buildings cast a much deeper shadow. And I think this screenshot was taken around the same time, game-wise. You can see it's the same game time. It's almost like the Reforged version of it lacks detail, like the little grunginess of it. The camera angle is weird though. It almost looks like it's more zoomed in. Like I feel I had my camera all the way back when I was in Reforged. But it doesn't look, it looks like it's almost like zoomed in a little bit. Do you know what I mean? When you sort of like mouse scroll in. I feel like this video is going to go on forever if I keep taking... So you can take your own look and try to compare the difference. And get an idea. But it basically holds up. But it's not going to be exactly like the classic that we know. Which is interesting to me because when Reforged becomes available, will my Warcraft 3 XC actually work where I currently run Warcraft 3 from? Or is it always going to have to be run from Reforged, which I assume is the case? So it's not going to be technically exactly the same as what I'm used to. And there could be subtle differences beyond that. And not just visually, but also mechanically. We will see. Time will tell. Interesting times. Thank you guys very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Make sure to thumbs up, subscribe for more content, and enjoy the patch. Give it a try. Let me know. Let the Classic Games team know what you guys think. And have a good one. All the best. You know, there are forums, by the way. So you got the general forums here. Just look up Warcraft 3 forums up here in the top right. And that'll pull this up. Let's take a little quick look at these beta notes, actually. Whilst we're still here. Start a game, my workers couldn't build, repair. I didn't have that issue. Yes, it's a 5 GB thing. We could already play with the classic graphics. You couldn't in the Reforged beta. Still having issues trying to connect to custom games. Issues. They are aware of there being issues to be dealt with. Yes, I thought there was new music as well. So, that's cool. I like the new music, at least. And we've already got a frame rate comparison over here. So let's take a little sneak at this. What's the stability improvement for custom games mean? Oh, blimey. Hang on a second. This is a whole different video. I thought that was quite quick because I've only just put this video out myself. Someone's already worked on this. So this is DirectX 9 versus DirectX 11. Apparently it's on 1080 times 60. Going down a real rabbit hole here, aren't we? So DirectX 9 is running much smoother. What's up with that? Okay. Well, I better stop before I go too far. Scene's much smoother, says another. Menu lag is gone. Kinda. Still not quite as smooth as the original. But it is an improvement. And hopefully more will be on their way. Buildings are facing random directions. That might just be what it is. When I was showing you the screen, that might just be what it is that the buildings kind of flipped around a little bit. But they look weird. You can go down a real rabbit hole with this at the moment. Okay, right. I'm going to end the video now. So have a good one, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.